Okay, let's talk about the frame. The frame is the area where all action takes place. The frame is thought of as a canvas. Painters who paint with um, oils and watercolors, acrylics, they have their canvas that they use. Writers have paper that they use. We all need a canvas. We, as visual poets, we paint with light, we paint with shadow, emotion, composition. And this is where we get to show, explore, and experiment with our craft, which is basically we get to use every medium that is out there. We have production design, which is construction, working with wood. We have painters, we have scenics, we have um, coming from the theater, we have actors, we have writers creating dialogue and story, we have musicians, sound effects. We get to use all of these great components to create our pieces of artwork, which is one frame at a time, one shot at a time, and it's I like to call us visual poets because that's what we are, um, and it's our job to fill that frame up with information. One frame can tell a story. Each frame needs to be filled with so much information that is contributing to the overall look and feel of this story that we're telling or that we're showing. I'm going to show an example from a great movie by the late Mike Nichols called The Graduate, which I think is one of the best films ever made. But I'm just going to show you one frame, and you can watch it and kind of judge for yourself. I'd say pick up the movie and watch it because it might be one of the most perfect films ever made. Just in this scene right here, look at the actors' faces. They're both smiling. Look at the people behind them that are locked inside a church. And notice what's barring the door. It's a cross. Um, I'm not talking about any religion right now. I'm just saying that the director chose to do that. He chose to create these textures through his interpretation of what he wanted the scene to be. I know it's a black and white photo, still taken from the film. But even the leaves on the ground, this might have been a summer day, but he wants you to look like it could be colder out because they're wearing jackets. So those leaves could have been put there purposely. What I'm trying to say is, when you're filling the frame up, don't wait for happy accidents to happen. Plan for them. Read into a scene or a shot, and really put what you think it deserves, what the script is calling for, what the characters are calling for, and surround them so that we can see what you, the visual poem or poet, wants to show your audience. And if you can fill that frame up with these great images, then you got a lot going for you. And hopefully you'll get a lot out of that. You have a lot of classes here at the school that teach you that with production or location scouting, cinematography, even editing, everything, directing, storytelling, script writing, creative writing, everything, psychology, all goes into helping you paint on your canvas, which is a frame. The frame is dictated by aspect ratio, which is the width divided by its height. That's your frame. Aspect ratio um, is basically in the camera's viewing system, if you'd like, and it shows you which one you want to work in. All good artists need to know where they're going to hang their paintings. Where are we going to exhibit our work? Where are we going to take our films, and what medium or what are they going to be shown on? Is it going to be just straight to television? Is it going to be straight to theater? Are we going to have both? Or is it going to be on the internet? There's so much to explore right now that you need to understand um, where it's going to be so you can dictate what your frame is going to be as far as aspect ratio. Um, One of our first aspect ratios that we ever had was 1:3:3 to 1, and that's what we consider broadcast standard, or it used to be. Now we have 16:9, which you don't see here. You'll see it in the next slide. But we had 1:8:5 to 1, which was actually used mainly with 35 millimeter film. And then we had 2:3:5 to 1, which was a lot. That was known as letterbox, and that's if we had like um, movies such as Braveheart, and far and away, that had a lot of geography and it showed a lot of landscape, and big battle scenes like Ben-Hur and things like that. So they knew that there was going to be epic films like that, so they wanted to see more of what was happening. Now our standard, if you look at the second from the top, is a 16 by 9, which is a 1.78 to 1. That's widescreen television. Usually it's HD. Because of the advent of HD, I'm kind of glad that that's the standard now, because the 4:3 traditional television was hard to take the 16 by 9 films to 185 and actually put them on there, because people thought they were getting ripped off because they were seeing black bars on the top and on the bottom, which in reality, if you just turn the lights out, those black bars disappear and you're seeing what the director wants you to see. Well, you have pan and scan and cropping when it comes to the 4:3 screens, and you miss half of the image, which I think can borderline on copyright infringement. Okay, so please understand what your canvas is going to be and where it's going to be shown before you start shooting, so you don't ever have to have that problem with somebody taking your film and cropping it, putting it into a 4:3, so people are going to miss half of that beautiful artwork that you just created. Okay, thank you for listening, and I can't wait for the next podcast, and have some fun, okay?